Good morning, everybody. Dave in Kentucky here for another shave. Gonna highlight a razor and got a new soap in. The soap I got, I guess I should back up. HD Shaves Henry had a video before the release by London Razors of Coffee and Contemplation. I was very glad to find out it was a fairly close to me in the same state artisan, and that was their second release of a soap. I had missed the first one, and they had a release of some more of it, Mountain Laurel, and so it's a homage to the area in eastern Kentucky here. So I'll go ahead and read about it because it's a little bit different, I believe, than the original one, slightly. It says, Mountain Laurel's back. We had stashed away a bottle of this fragrance mixture a little over 18 months ago and just recently rediscovered it. After talking with our friends at Summer Break Soaps, who produces the soap for them, we determined we had just enough for another small run. The notes of this run are the same that were previously in our Eau de Parfum, which starts with a green blast of fern and is followed by notes of Egyptian sandalwood, amber, geranium, cardamom, neroli, and the whole thing is rounded out by just a hint of spice. Now here's the note. It says, notably, you notice it mentioned that the scent is from their Eau de Parfum. It says, notably, this version of Mountain Laurel soap does not contain galbanum. The remaining aftershaves do contain galbanum, and of course we recommend picking up one of those to complete the whole experience. There aren't any left. I think there was one left originally, but anyhow, it was gone when I got the soap. So I'm going to use Nivea's 2-in-1 splash. Here's details about the original release are below. It's their first scent in the wet shaving community, homage to eastern Kentucky mountains that we call home. I wanted to create a scent that, while pleasant to wear all day as a fragrance, also captured the grassy green, lush forests of eastern Kentucky where Mountain Laurel is so prominent. So, and again, Summer Break Soaps of Nebraska produces this for them. So, Andrew of London Razors, when he sent this, said he sent me a little goodie in there as well, and he did. The Eau de Parfum. It had a chip in the bottle. I don't know if you can see it there. It doesn't affect it. It smells the same with and without the chip. Thank you, Andrew. Really appreciate your kindness. So just want to make note, bought and paid for, just thrown in as a kindness because of the chip in the bottle. So no paid advertisements here. Let's go ahead and wet the face. Get some hot water going here. I should have done that. Normally I do that before video, but it's early, like 5 o'clock Sunday morning. Been up since 3:30. Why? I don't know. Couldn't sleep. I'm still here, wetting my face. Sorry, usually have this done. Trying to get the water warm. Alright, so it might be a slightly longer video. So we'll run through things. Using the Mountain Laurel soap by London Razors, Summer Break Soaps. Have my Knothead Brushworks, the Kentuckian handle, he called that, with a Timberwolf knot. Tim no longer in business, so very thankful that I have this custom one he made for me. We'll top things off with the Nivea 2-in-1, and then also have the Eau de Parfum EDP. All right, razor for today. We are using, since Shaving with Peg Legs got some razors in, he's going to be using a number of razors, old vintage ones as he does, along with economical ones he has. I'm breaking out my pre-valet. This is Autostrop, and this is an A2. I have an A1, but this is an A2. I had this, the A2 has the square thing. They both, A1 and A2, have the push button rather than the lever to release the blade. So you have a push button, pushes that bottom out and releases the blade. But all these ones that you can use the blade, if you flip them back, you'll notice in this area here, that's where you slide the blade in. But you have to prep the blade. So let's first, I'll get that again lined up. And this is a great specimen. You have a serial number down on the handle down here. Barely showing up. I know you can't read it, but you'll see it's there. Okay. The blade itself. Grab a gem blade, pliers, pull off the end of it, which I've shown in other videos. Comes off very easily. And then you'll have to nip. How am I going to show you? Not this end, but in the middle there, that piece. Let me hold this here. Not this end, this little nub in here. You get that off too. You clip that on both sides, and it slides right into the Autostrop. So that should be explanatory enough for you to be able to accomplish that. If not, put down sharp objects. Don't use them. Anyway, all right, so let's wet the brush, get some soap loaded in it. Hope everybody is well. We'll get some soap loaded up in the brush here. Loads very easily. So I gave you the scent notes. I'm like, I've heard another individual on the shave forums described, and I thought, that's me. He was described as a nasal barbarian, so that's me. My nose doesn't pick up all the individual scents, etc. But I am enjoying this scent. I used the Eau de Parfum yesterday. I will say it is light on this this soap. It's there, present, but light, and I'm not going to assign it a number. That's so subjective. Everybody's noses are so different, right? All right. When I say it's a light scent, it's light compared to the Coffee and Contemplation. And it may be light compared to the original run. I don't know if how far they had to stretch the fragrance, but it is there, and it's coming up more as I'm lathering it. Very enjoyable. And I enjoyed wearing the Parfum yesterday. I know Joelle's probably going to give me a hard time. Come on, no, you know you are if you're there, buddy. Dave's using another synthetic. I like my Badgers. I used one yesterday. I like my boars. We're coming up on December, which I'll use more of them for that month. But I have noticeably more control with the lather, making it, and the not giving up the lather onto my face rather than hogging it. My favorite boars are the ones that are all broke in. The problem is you've got to admit it, suffer through until you get to those great lathers with that broken in bore knot. Used this razor yesterday and enjoyed it so much. The A1 and A2 are my absolute favorites out of the Autostrops. And that's why I thought, well, I'll use it again today. This past week was unseasonably warm, I think, as it was for many people. Things are starting to cool off a little bit again. It's been dry. We're getting rain today, I can hear. Henry was teasing me about trees. And I did take a few down yesterday. Trying to thin out the hillside and on the property of scraggly ones. And one's too close to others so that the health of those good ones they can thrive better. I do a volunteer work, disaster relief and building. So I'm thankful that they provide training for safety in those areas. In fact, let me get a quick rinse. In fact, not yesterday, but last Saturday, I had to go in person up to Lexington for a final test on fall protection certification. To keep that up for the volunteer work. They had a Zoom class. It was, I forget, 3-4 hours, and then it's a long drive to Lexington. Not long, couple hours, but long drive for the short test. Anyway, okay, across the green. The A1 and A2, all of the Autostrops are great shavers. The A1 and A2 are my favorites because they were the first ones out. The coolness of the push button. But are they smoother? Or is it a placebo effect? Because I like them more. They're smoother. They're much smoother. You have to get one of these. I'm just kidding. They are great shavers. It does not take, it's not a big deal to modify the blade. I'm not good at knowing all the different versions and categories. Some people can name them all off. I'm sure Fuzzy can. Maybe he knows the differences. Although he's getting older, his memory's not the greatest, so he seems maybe he forgot. Just kidding, buddy. Anyway, it's easy to know the A1 and A2. The handles are attached, do not remove. They have the push button. The A2 has the square top of the shaft here. of the handle, and the A1 does not. Then you get into the V's, or the B's. And I think there's a 1 and a 2 also. Another thing to remember is these are Autostrop, and they say only Autostrop. They don't have valet on there anywhere. When you get to the B's, I believe they also still are just Autostrop, at least B1 and 2. I believe there's 2 B's that are Autostrop only. They have a lever, but again, no valet, just Autostrop. So that's how you know the difference. So why is, you know, it's kind of coincidental. I grabbed this brush because I like it, and it was blue and it matched. I hadn't even thought about the fact that the Kentucky. I mentioned I'm tired. Didn't sleep good. I have your sympathy. I'm not trying to get it. I didn't even make the connection of Kentucky to it, but the reason that came up is Tim on, I forget what forum at the time. Tim at Knothead Brushworks. I already have the suds there. I'm just enjoying the feel of it. He asked for an idea of a shape to do a brush handle, and I think he had this stock, and I said, why don't you do something like I can't even think of the name. It was a samurai or something that Paladin has, where it has these ridges. So he said, oh, I'll do that. So he did it and produced it, and he said this one will forever be called the Kentuckian. So that's how it got that. And I hope Tim is well. I know he's not doing brushes and turning, at least commercially, anymore, or at least for the time being. I don't know what transpired that. And I'm hoping it was just life got busy in other areas, and nothing negative. I had some friends over the other day and gifted him some soaps. I had gotten him into the shaving a while ago, and I was trying to thin things down a little. He was asking about some differences in the bases, and he says, have you ever thought of getting into making any? I said I did a while ago. I thought it'd be neat to have a lathe and be turning my own handles and stuff. He said, why don't you? So I know nothing about soap making. And shave soap making in particular. There's been many people that make soaps, you know, farms and so forth, hand soaps. Oh, I can make you shave soap, and it's not anything like what the artisans that we produce. There's more to it. I'm not saying it's complicated, but I don't have the time to research and dabble and play with, and all the experimentation it takes for someone to get to where they have a nice recipe to produce a good soap. Add all that, and the same with the turning handles. It takes time and to practice and all that experimentation before you get good at something. I don't have time for that. And it's like when I described about the YouTube videos. Everyone and their uncle is doing them now. Shave videos. You know, everyone and their uncle is dabbling in brush turning, soap making. I think sometimes people think, oh, it's an easy way to make money. I don't think it's easy. It's work like everything. And I think people learn that as they try that. Oh man, one of my favorite razors. Love it. So, long story short, as Dave feels like it, has time, he'll do his videos, highlight some old razors. If you enjoy it, great. The channel grows because of it, great. If it doesn't matter. I'm still going to do them occasionally. As far as soaps, making those for the wet shaving community, brush handles, leave it to the professionals. Hey, you may become that professional. Dave is not that professional. He's just going to continue to use them. Let me get the Autostrop on this. Just remember, there's no get rich quick, easy schemes. All right, where are we at here? Some witch hazel. A little bit on this skin up here. It tends to flake. I don't know what causes it. You may find out one of these days from the doctor. Little maybe 2-in-1. Mix those 2 oils up. It doesn't take much of this stuff. Very little. And it's no longer produced, I am told. I wish I kept making it. I've got a backup bottle, so we'll have it for a while anyway. Alright, so there you have it. It's the Autostrop A1. Get yourself an Autostrop. Get some gem blades, you know, a slight modification to them. If you're having trouble with it, let me know in the comments. I'll help you out. We'll do a, maybe I'll go through, maybe that's what I should do. Instead of just shave videos, I should go through, highlight the razors, and not do an actual shave, but show the razor, how to modify the blade. If one's a little more complicated, we'll look into that. Anyway, for now though, thanks for joining me with the shave. I'll hit the EDP later before I head out for services this morning. Be kind, be safe out there, and we'll see you on the forum.